Gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first the host, straight from After the Slam podcast, Bodacious Albert.
After the slam, where the real ones stand, we talk dreams, defeats, and the master plan. From the locker room tales to the spotlight glam, you'll feel every hand. This is after the slam. This is after the slam. Body slam gear.
Friday, May 29th, 2026, Torture Chamber Pro and Warrior Buds present Pandemonium 4 from the Theater Paradox, with 4 championship matches and 5 exciting bouts. The British Commonwealth Heavyweight Championship is on the line when the Haitian sensation Wilson Collas defends against the villain Marty Scurll. The AIWF World TV Championship is on the line when the champion, the son of the butcher, Soa Amin, defends against the lumberjack Loic Bouchard. Canadian Tag Team Championship Gold is up for grabs when Derek Butler and Alexander Cable defend against Damage Incorporated. Witness history as we crown a new AIWF Canadian Junior Heavyweight Champion as Paulo Triassi, Buddy Jacobs, Jimmy Woods, and Brad Alexis vie for the gold. And in exciting heavyweight action, it's the Beast King Frankie the Mobster versus Bjorg Hawken. Don't miss this incredible evening of pro wrestling action Friday, May 29th at the Theater Paradox, 5959 Boulevard, Monk, Montreal. Tickets $30 general admission pre-sale, $35 at the door. Doors open at 6:30, first bell at 7:30. It's Pandemonium.
The following announcement has been paid for by the Miami World Order.
This thing on all month. I've been getting, why'd I do it? Why did I ring the bell? Why did I ruin Moretta's and Milano's match? I'll make it real simple. Just felt like it. That's it. No apology, no explanation, no regrets. And if that bothers you, good. I'm not here to explain myself. I don't care if you don't understand. You're stuck to last month. I moved on to April 30th. PFW Meltdown. Josh Angel returns. Big moment. He has to go through Jeremy Prophet. Jeremy Prophet, one of the #1 contenders. Everybody's got predictions. Everybody's got opinions. I don't. I already know how it's going to play out. I don't need to say it. I just hope I get shocked in that one. Then there's the Tornado Tag Team match. Layla Wilde and Maria Belmont, Della Soloris, and Riot Richard. Last month, it was chaos. This time, it's going to be worse. No structure, no rules, just 4 women trying to prove who's the best in this women's division. Something tells me nobody's going to be walking out the same that night. Nobody's going to be leaving the mezzanine fully intact. And then we got something that I actually care about. A hardcore match. Evan Hardcore versus Nathan Hope. Hope made it personal. Stepped in when Evan was taking care of business. Okay, it was with Stella, but hey, shit happens. So now, no rules. Just how far are they willing to go? And how much are they willing to lose? And then the franchise arrives. Brad Alexis. Fatal 4-way match with Sexy Eddie, Monaco Moretas, and Flying Frank Milano. Oh yeah, did I say? I hate Milano. Moretas though? That's different. That's vision. That's purpose. That's something worth standing behind. I didn't choose a side. I made it mine. So when that match happens, you already know where I stand. PFW Meltdown, April 30th. You can't keep asking your questions, but you're not going to get any answers. You can't keep doubting, but it won't change what happens. So show up, watch it unfold, or don't. Doesn't make a difference to me, whether you like it or not. I'm not part of the future. I am the future. Well. We are now live back in the After the Slam podcast studios, right here in my sanctuary. We're no longer in the studio. We're back here live, but today is the Friday episodes. You all know After the Slam is on Sundays, but the Friday ones, they mean something special to me. Now, today, I got a guest that, quite frankly, is shaking up the Canadian scene. He's making you rock like a hurricane, no pun intended. Okay, and he is kicking ass. He is the current CWE Canadian Wrestling Elite Heavyweight Champion of the World. His name is Kaze. He's going to be coming up in 1 second, but I want to show you his Instagram, ladies and gentlemen. I want to share his great Instagram. He is social media frenzy. As you can see, look at this good-looking man. He's built like a freaking brick house. He's got that green and orange hair, and don't just stare at his eyes. Don't look in his eyes, guys. You might just get bitten alive, okay? But here it is. There it is. That's our little poster we made for us for promoting the show. So happy and honored to have this individual on my show. I've watched him. I've seen his podcast in the past. I've seen, heard, and listened to the story, and I can't wait to share it with each and every one of you on this show today. But also, look at that. The Rage in the Cage. Going on tour, and the man Ethan Page, what am I saying? Ethan Page, Ethan Carter. Ethan Page is in my head, fellow Canadian. Ethan Carter III will be on there in the Rage in the Cage poster tour that they'll be going on next week, I think, in the beginning of May. As you can see, awesome stuff. Let's get some. Here we go. Let's click the video here. Let's play. Where's the volume? And there it is. He's a crazy motherfucker. And yes, you could put on this show. Rock you like a hurricane. I hope I don't get flagged on this. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn that off quickly because I might just get flagged on this one. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I give you, he is the current CWE Heavyweight Champion. My friend, I could say, because we've been talking on the back end, and I consider him a friend. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kaze. Don't look in his eyes. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Hello, sir. Can I hear you?
You hear me? You hear me properly? No? Do you hear me now? Do you hear me now? Oh no. Wait a minute. How is this possible? How is this not working?
Can you hear me, buddy?
What happened?
Hello.
Do you hear me now? Do you hear me now?
I can't seem to hear you, man.
I hear you. I hear you good. I think you're gonna have to come on and come off. Hold on, let's get this off. Stop screen. How about now? How about now? No? You heard me before. Oh, Jesus. 1 second. Are you muted? Check your stuff. Hold on. Hello. You hear me now? Test 1, 2. You hear me now? No? Yes?
Hello.
Hold on.
Oh, I gotcha. Can you hear me?
You got me? I hear you.
I can hear you now.
It was you. You were muted.
Oh, I didn't touch anything. I just sat here quietly, patiently waiting. That was weird. My apologies. I just was sitting in the wings waiting, but I didn't touch a thing.
Damn, I gave you a special introduction and all, and it was like emotional. And you hear a damn word I said?
I didn't hear a word you said. Sorry.
What about the videos? Did you hear the videos?
I didn't hear anything. It all was blank. I could see, and I knew we must be recording, but I thought the audio would come back eventually. It just kind of stopped. So my apologies.
Listen, the video. I think it was a button you just pressed that you came on, because on my end it was showing me volume
craziness. Like I'm blasted to the max. So it is.
No,
It
I
is what it
literally
is.
didn't touch anything. It just kind of just stopped. That was very bizarre. But we're here now.
Well,
I can hear you now.
We're here now. I got the man, the CWE heavyweight champion. I was promoting the hell out of you, but
Oh,
thank
God
you
bless
for
you.
coming.
Thank you.
Kamikaze's on the show. You're gonna play back the show, but I think everybody was listening anyway because they heard it. So I think you were the only one who didn't hear it. Is
No,
it on
I
my
guess I
end?
was. Unlucky for me. So bizarre.
Oh, speaking of bizarre,
Yes.
I got you on the show. Not kidding.
We're
How
here.
are you
We're
today,
here now.
sir? We're here. We finally made it.
Yeah. Thank you for your time. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to this very much so.
I'm looking forward to this as well. I was so happy when you reached out as a champion. These champions, you got the heart of a warrior, a heart of a superstar, a heart of a real man that came to a guy and said, listen, I saw Danny Duggan on After the Slam. I kind of want to be on After the Slam. So like you reached out to me, and of course I'm going to say no because I know who you are, sir. You've been on my feed. You've been around the block in the Canadian scene, if you will. So like I got to say, congratulations for all your success, sir. And honestly, I am proud and honored to have you on After the Slam.
Well, thank you very much. It goes both ways. And yeah, man, I'm not opposed to, I think just doing the podcast and your show in particular, it's good for both of us just to promote ourselves and help one another. So I'm all about that. And yeah, man, I'm always reaching out to yourself and others just for the exposure and to tell the story and to help each other out. That's what this business is about. It's working together.
Exactly. And this is what After the Slam was all about, is sharing originally it was about getting to know the wrestling fans, like how do we all become wrestling fans? Wrestlers like yourself, we're a wrestling fan from the beginning.
100%.
We started loving watching wrestling. So that's where I'm going to start off the show, sir, with you, is our first question of the day. Kaze.
Yes.
How did you, with those green eyes growing up, watch pro wrestling? How did it come in? I hear me in my background now.
No, I got me into professional wrestling to begin with.
Okay.
He was a huge fan, and I remember my first memories just seeing WrestleMania 3. We had it on VHS, and that was the beginning of everything. Seeing Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant and Macho Man and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. But it was my father. I got to give credit to Papa Kaze. He is the one that got us into professional wrestling. It was in grade 7, 1998. I would watch it at my father's house with my sister, Monday Night Raw, the Attitude Era. And that's when I decided this is what I want to do for a living. It was when I was 12 years old in 1998.
Speaking of, so 12 years old, what was your favorite? So 1998 is the exact, or you started watching it when it was WrestleMania 3? What exactly was
WrestleMania 3 it started, and I remember like those early years in the 80s, early 90s. Then I kind of fell out of it. I think one of my last memories was Jake the Snake and Earthquake crushing his snake in the bag there.
Yes.
And that traumatized me. But then I kind of fell out of it and never really seen much of it and just moved on with life. And then my parents divorced when I was in grade 7, 12 years old. And we'd go to my dad's and spend time with him Mondays for supper and just hang out. And Monday Night Raw was on. He was still a huge fan. And that's when I got pulled back in. And but I was a Hulkamaniac. That was the first thing that pulled me in was Hulk Hogan. And then after that, yes, you know it, pal. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mick Foley, Jeff Hardy. Then I seen ECW a year later in 1999. Rob Van Dam changed my life. I wanted to be just like him. So it's been a journey, but that's some of the beginnings of the people that captivated me for sure.
Kaze, it's crazy because I feel like you say 98. I watched wrestling since WrestleMania 2. King Kong Bundy and Hulk Hogan. So I'm an old school guy. So but I feel like, we're at the same age almost kind of thing. And like, if you're watching 98 and you're feeling that, I feel like we're the same kind of, we grew up watching the same stuff. It's relatable. Cool.
It was a great time back then. Like wrestling was so hot. You had WWF, WCW, ECW. Literally every day of the week, there was a wrestling show on television. And every day from Monday to Sunday, there was some type of wrestling programming. It was a crazy time to be a fan.
I remember staying up. I don't know about you in where you are, but I remember waiting on Friday nights at midnight to watch ECW.
Yeah, man. It was on TNN, the national network, and we had it on at about 7:00. It was on after like 18 Wheels of Justice and Rock and Bowl and these weird shows, Roller Jam, and then it was on the Thrill Zone Friday. It was called, and ECW changed my life. I was blown away by the nitty grittiness of it and the extreme rules and just the Mike Awesome and Rob Van Dam and Masato Tanaka. Tommy Dreamer, Balls Mahoney, like it was crazy. New Jack, absolutely.
I used to watch New Jack in Smoky Mountain.
Nice. Oh, that his promos there are fantastic.
Yeah, you don't want to play those promos today. You can't. I don't think we're allowed to even have them. So you know what I mean. But so yeah, man. Okay, so that's cool. So who was you said Stone Cold Steve Austin? Like you said Rob Van Dam. Did you ever wrestle Rob Van Dam?
Unfortunately not. I've never had the opportunity to meet him. One time he acknowledged me on Instagram though. I had like a picture with like his t-shirt and was doing the thumbs motion and he liked the picture and stuff. And I thought that was pretty cool. That's the closest interaction I've had.
That's awesome. That's crazy. I'm a Chris Jericho guy. So like
oh yeah, Jericho's great.
Yeah, Jericho's my guy. So like when I met Chris Jericho and he told me to take off my shirt because I was wearing a pink shirt that said "Real men wear pink."
Oh, solid.
And, he's like, "Hey, take off your shirt, jackass." I'm like, I was there taking off, little fat kid, at a HRV music store, and then he told me to put it back on. All right, so
wow.
So yeah, that's crazy days. I love that guy. So what made you want to be in the ring when you started? What was the exact moments that you said, "I want to be wrestling. I want to be a pro wrestler and get myself into the squared circle," if you will?
I would say Mick Foley had a big part of that. Something about the physicality of it all. Just watching Mick Foley do these crazy things with his body and these, putting himself through this crazy stuff, all the crazy bumps and the high risk activity. Something about it, just that physicality, and then the theatrics behind it and the larger than life persona of there's a lot of just creative energy that I could express myself through that I couldn't get away with doing anything else, to be completely honest. Like I can't go anywhere with this kind of hair, having an office job. And, it's wrestling is it. That is the place where I can be myself and amp myself up to 100 and express myself properly is through professional wrestling. It's a beautiful art form, a beautiful outlet. And, but yeah, I'd say Mick Foley and the physicality. I was in drama class from grade 8 all the way to college. And so it was either going to be acting or wrestling for me. But even in the acting aspect in drama, I would just do crazy stuff and take like crazy flip bumps on the floor. And like, I was so infatuated and influenced by Mick Foley that like, even in my acting, I was extremely physical and would just do crazy stunts. It kind of went hand in hand, but wrestling just had more creativity and there's just a nitty grittiness behind it. It's a very tough sport and not everybody can do it. And that's what drew me in a lot was that there's no safety nets. There's no multiple takes. We're the best one take performers you're going to find. And just, there's a lot of things. There's no insurance behind it. You're not covered like you would be with a normal job. And just, maybe I'm just not the brightest tool in the shed, but the nitty grittiness of that all really attracted me to it, that this is hard and not everyone can do it, but I can do it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of different factors, but it sucked me in.
Yeah, I heard you on a previous interview. You were younger kamikaze, younger.
Yes.
Okay? You were in doing the trampolines, backyard wrestling stuff.
Yes.
But before that, you said you had like something happened to you, like growing up. Like there was a thing. Like I got emotional watching that, and I'm sorry to bring this up to you, but I got emotional.
Don't be sorry.
Sir, I could definitely relate. I broke my back. I have the Shawn Michaels back, if you will.
Right.
So, like,
oh my God. I'm sorry.
No. I could walk. It's good. But you, like your story, I want to know a little bit more for the audience here to watching.
Okay.
Already the numbers are going up very fast. Share your story about that because you overcame something. I don't want to say it. It's not for me to say. It's for you to say. But like you overcame something in your life and you became something great and awesome today. And people like you, people should watch and be inspired because I'm inspired by you. And I hope more people say this more clearly to you, sir, and I don't want to call you sir because we're almost the same age, but I mean, Kaze,
okay.
you know what I mean? Like it's a
I
thing
do.
of respect.
I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
I respect you a ton. But I want to hear the story if you want to share it, sir.
Yeah, God bless you. You're already getting me emotional thinking about it. When you seen that interview, that was the first time I've really brought that up. So this is gonna be the second time, I suppose.
If you don't want to share it, I understand.
No. It's something special in its own right. Grade 7, basically when I got infatuated by wrestling. I don't think I definitely hadn't tapped into my athletic potential. I was still just like, a young adolescent getting into my teens. I probably didn't have the healthiest diet, eating a lot of junk food, sitting on my butt, watching movies and playing video games, PlayStation 1 and stuff like that, and staying up really late. I know there's like a picture of me with just like almost like black bags under my eyes at like 12 years old and just really skinny and very sickly looking, to be completely honest with you. And I started feeling like this pain in my left buttocks, I guess, like where my leg bone goes into my hip, basically on my left side. And I don't know, it just was kind of there, very faint. And as time went on, it was getting a little more, intense. And I just kept on, I was just a young kid, didn't think much of it. I remember at one point I felt like I wanted to like take a hammer and just like hit this bone that was bothering me. I don't know why. Just silly and weird. But eventually I remember waking up one morning and trying to get out of bed, and I couldn't. There was like so much pain just shooting through my leg that I couldn't even I couldn't walk. And I remember we had to go to the hospital and stuff like that, and it was crazy.
I'm sorry, dude.
No, it's okay. I had like a bone infection apparently, and they didn't know, and they didn't even know it was a bone infection at first. It was a really scary, uncertain time. They thought it might be like cancer or bone cancer or something. They couldn't explain it for a very long time. I had to go through multiple tests. I was stuck in the hospital in total for a whole month, and I couldn't walk. And it took a long time. I remember like every day just getting pricked with needles and stuff like that. And just stuck with all this uncertainty, missing school too. I missed like a whole month, over a month of school, because the recovery process still afterwards, like it didn't happen overnight. And they're doing all these tests. And it was just scary. And it was hard on my family. My mom was going back to school again, upgrading stuff. And I think it didn't help the situation with her academics and having to look after her son and try and just figure out what's going on and making the hospital visits. So it was really hard on everybody. It was crazy. It was so uncertain. I remember they were talking, like, I didn't know if they have to amputate my leg or they're going to have to, there's talks of like putting like a giant needle into my bone. And I was so scared of that. And I remember even like at one point I was getting visited by like religious groups that were there to like look after and talk to sick and dying kids and stuff like that. They were out of California, I remember. And they were really nice and kind, but like, it was just a really crazy, weird, uncertain time. Yeah. And I remember they're from California, so I was so infatuated with just like palm trees because I just never, so I remember talking about palm trees a lot and stuff like that. But yeah, it was uncertain. And then they finally figured out, I guess, that it was like an infection in my bone. And they finally, I think got antibiotics and figured something out for me. And I remember actually too, this was right around the same time when Owen Hart passed away, because I was able to get like a day pass out of the hospital. And I remember, man, I'm 12 years old. I can't walk. And I literally was in a wheelchair, or I'd have to use one of those old person walkers and like walk, at 12 years old. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember going to watch the Over the Edge pay-per-view and having like a get out of free jail card at the hospital. And that's when Owen Hart, and then that happened too. Yeah, it was crazy time. I'll never forget that. That was all linked in. Then I got out like a day before my birthday, which was crazy. God bless, man. And that's the big thing here is I have to say, God was looking after me. I went from not being able to walk and so much uncertainty and fear and so many scares. And then the antibiotics started to kick in and work. And one of the weird side effects I remember of the antibiotics, I'd wake up every morning and my nose, my nostrils would just be full of like this amber crystallized like boogers. I don't know. They were like yellow in color, but like I couldn't even breathe. And I don't know if that was like the sickness pushing out of my body or what was going on. But like I'd wake up every morning from this medication and I couldn't breathe. And I'd have like jagged crystallized gunk in my nose. And that happened for several weeks. And then finally I started to bounce back and walk again. And my dad had a trampoline. And that's when I started to tap into my athletic potentials and start doing the backyard wrestling, crazy mofo wrestling it was called, CMF wrestling. But yeah, I went from one extreme to the other. I went from the second chance, basically a gift from God, not being able to walk, this uncertainty, walking with a walker at 12 years old. And then I started tapping into my potentials. My next door neighbor, one of the coolest neighbors ever in the world, Kenny Ferguson, taught me how to backflip. And it was after that is when it was like the gloves were off and I started really pushing things. I was doing backflips off walls and I started doing it like on the ground. I'd stack up a bunch of blocks, wood blocks, and I'd do them off the blocks and I'd remove a block until I was doing them on the ground. So it was getting lower and lower. And if it wasn't for Kenny Ferguson, it wasn't for God above, I wouldn't have tapped into my athletic potentials, man. I couldn't even throw a baseball. I wasn't even athletic at all as a kid. I hadn't tapped into my body. But the trampoline and my next door neighbor helped break through things. And I used to get made fun of too, and a lot from friends that, I just was very unathletic. Yeah. And the tables have turned, and now God willing, and thanks be to God that I've transformed into a superior athlete. But it went from one extreme to the other.
Champion, bud. The CWE heavyweight champion. Take that into fucking consideration. Sorry to say, but I mean, when I heard that story, I was like, damn. And I'm like, well, look at him now. He's a fucking rock star, So it's an inspiration for your story and whatever. Like you went through uncertainty, became certainty, and you are on your feet, kicking ass every single day. And I appreciate you. So like, it's really cool to share that story. One for people that just never give up. Shout out to John Cena. But I mean,
no, but it's true. It's true. Don't give up.
Never give up. All right, sir. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate that. It does get me emotional, but it's good to talk about. And if I can help other people by hearing that story, I think it's time it starts being told. So I'm glad it's coming out now. I kept that secret for years. I never ever talked about it, and it probably will always get me a little choked up because it is again just because it's crazy from one extreme to the other. But God is great, and I'm blessed, and I can't take that for granted. And there's a sense of humility I must keep as well, and modesty, because the Lord giveth and he can also taketh away very easily in the snap of a finger. So I'm just trying to use my gifts, talents, and abilities to the best of my abilities for the greater good, to serve God and his purposes, and to put God first. Amen.
Amen. Hey, we just had a prayer. Jesus.
We did. Amen.
All right, bud. Again, thank you for that.
Yes.
So let's move on here, because that was I don't want to get choked up myself. Kaze, how did you come up? First, before that, I want to say this. How did you find a school? Where did you find a school to become a pro wrestler? Because we like you said before, we were getting bullied and made fun of what we do and what we like and how we look at school. But one thing is for certain, pro wrestling never made fun of us. If you're a pro wrestling fan, pro wrestling was there with you. So I there's something that I tell my wife every single day. I'm like, before there was you, my love, and my two kids, which I put my kids priority first. But
rightfully so.
Yeah, but I tell my wife, pro wrestling never broke my heart. So never let me down, because when I'm sad, I'll just go back to watch pro wrestling and it makes me happy.
It's a great escape.
The great escape. So on your end, lacing up those boots, deciding you want to become a pro wrestling, what was your journey like? How did you go find a school? How did you say, shit, now it's my time, I'm 100% healed, I want to go out there? How did you do it?
Well, 12 years old is when it started, getting that trampoline. And I was looking into schools. I was looking into, how do I get involved? Where can I go? And everywhere I looked, you had to be 18 years old. So I was only 12. I still had some years. but I couldn't wait. So I took matters in my own hands, started my own backyard wrestling promotion, Crazy Mofo Wrestling, CMF Wrestling, the moniker that I use now, the Crazy Mofo. It all started when I was 12. We started studying VHS tapes and putting things in slow motion, me and my buddy Matthew Leismeister, and just studying. We made a big wrestling dummy that we could practice moves on before we started doing them on each other. We were very professional in that respect. I have everything recorded from age 12 to 17, 5 years of CMF wrestling. You can watch me just evolve and grow up on the VHS videotapes. Wow. I'll send you a link on YouTube of some of the stuff if you wish. But please, I basically, that was it. I was kind of self-taught. My dad built what we call the trampo ring, which was a wrestling ring trampoline. And it was legit. It had like the steel ring posts and a frame underneath the trampoline. We started with ropes, then we upgraded to steel cable. And that's where I learned how to do all the high flying stuff and got my balance and just off the ropes, got real slick with the maneuvers off the ropes. And I was in that thing every day from spring to fall. And because the winters in Canada, as you know, are very harsh. So you had to take a break in the winter. But I was in that every day. Practice makes perfect, I tell these guys. And I was practicing, perfecting for 5 years. And then I found this promotion called Monster Pro Wrestling in 2004. And they were doing a Camp Wars show, which is like a free show for their trainees. It was up in Edmonton, Alberta. And I emailed the promoter and I kind of lied and fibbed and said I was trained. And I don't know how I got away with it, but I was given an opportunity. I took like a 12-hour Greyhound bus up to Edmonton. And I had a singles match against a wrestler by the name of Shane O'Ryan, which ironically, I had my first match with him. And when he stopped wrestling, he gave me his wrestling boots, and I still wear his boots to this day. So that's kind of a weird full circle moment. And then I worked at Battle Royal as well. And it was at that point, like I knew I had to get trained, and they told me I did because I did have I was a natural in a lot of respects, but they're just tricks of the trade you can't figure out until you go to a proper school. Mm-hmm. So I saved money. They didn't think they'd see me again after that, but I saved money for a year. I was a dishwasher while I was going to college at Houston Pizza. And I saved what I thought was enough money at the time in 2004, going into 2005. I saved $500 and I moved away a week before my 19th birthday. I couldn't even stay for that extra week to celebrate with family and friends. I just was so driven and wanted to get this dream and the ball rolling. So I moved away a week before my 19th birthday, started training, and 3 months later had my official debut match. And I was trained originally by Chi Cruz, who's a Canadian wrestling legend around the scene. Yes, and I was so lucky. I was in the right place at the right time, learning from Cheech. He'd been wrestling for 20 years at that point and had been to Japan and Europe, all over Canada, the Memphis territory with Jerry Lawler, and all over the United States. And he was amazing, a great trainer. I can't put him over enough. Just always asking why. Why are you doing this? Why is this happening? And that's the psychology and the storytelling behind things. If you don't have a good answer to why this is happening, then you're off track. You're off kilter. So Cheech was always just the master of psychology and storytelling. And I could do all these crazy, the icing on the cake stuff, the flips and the cool athletic things, but there has to be the fundamentals. And if you don't have good fundamentals, basic fundamentals, you don't have a good foundation. So that was a big thing when I first started training. I wasn't allowed to go on the top rope or off the ropes when I first started training. That was not allowed for several months. I remember having to, and it was funny. We went from backyard wrestling back into the backyard because I trained in the back of the promoter's backyard. There's a wrestling ring set up. It was an old Stampede Wrestling 20-foot ring. And I started training. My training was in another backyard. So I went from the backyard to another backyard, but under much more professional circumstances. But yeah, I remember we'd sneak into the ring sometimes at night when the guys would all be working. And that's when we'd kind of play around and come off the top rope and stuff. But it wasn't allowed, man. It wasn't allowed. And we had to go through a lot of different things breaking in. You had to look a certain way. We had to put on a certain amount of weight and look like an athlete before we made our debut. Didn't matter how good we were. You had to look the part. And I think that's missing this day and age, is looking the part. And nowadays, a lot of schools, it's the blind leading the blind. They're just teaching all the flips and the high spots and crazy stuff. And there's no fundamentals. So I was very lucky the way I broke in. It was very old school. Very old school.
So when you broke in, was your name Kamikaze right away, or do you have different names in the wrestling scene? Like when you first broke in?
It was always Kamikaze. That started as a nickname in my backyard wrestling days. We would play multiple characters. I played 4 characters. So I wrestled like quadruple duty a lot of times in CMF wrestling in the backyard. But one of the characters was Cam the Man. And I wanted to be Cam the Man when I came in and lied about my age. That's another thing. I lied. I wasn't even 18 yet. I said I was still 17. Hadn't even graduated high school, got my diploma, and I already had my wrestling debut in 2004 there. But I wanted to be Cam the Man. And they're like, no, that doesn't sound right. You can't be Cam the Man. So one of my nicknames was Kamikaze in school and in my backyard days. So I went with Kamikaze, and it stuck. And the promoter thought I should wear a mask because of my style. And I had a lot of favorites that were masked wrestlers like Hayabusa, Great Sasuke, Ultimo Dragon, Jushin Thunder Liger. One of my all-time favorites, the original Tiger Mask, Satoru Sayama. So I embraced wearing a mask. But I made sure it had big eye holes, big mouth, so I could show my facial expressions. Had a hole in the top to show my colored hair. But yeah, that's Kamikaze is where it started, and I haven't looked back. And it fits. It's a play off my real name, so it works.
So you were trained by Cheech, and I want to know your other you researched you on Wikipedia and also on Cage Match Pro Wrestling. Lance Storm and Roddy Piper were 2
Correct.
names that came up for you, sir.
Yes,
your experiences with those 2 men.
I polished up with Lance Storm in 2012. I remember I tore my ACL and was out of action for a year. I made sure I waited a long time and healed up properly. And I would just sit under the learning tree with Lance. Lance was the booker for the Prairie Wrestling Alliance out of Calgary and Edmonton. And I would just sit and watch the events with Lance. And I'd listen to him critique and just talk about the matches, what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong. Listening to the crowd was a big one. That's when I started figuring out about listening to the audience and the crowd. Was just sitting with Lance. And then when I was healed up, I asked him if I could train with him. And he let me train with him for the full 3 months of his class. And he gave me a good deal. He charged me, I think, only $1,000. And that was very kind of him to do that. Because it was like over $3,000 or $4,000 with the housing included. So $1,000, trained with him for 3 months. That was very kind of him to do that. And it was the best decision I ever made. Lance polished me up and took away bad habits that I never knew I had, and just polished me up. That was the best way I can put it. I found training with Lance, you're almost better to have a little wrestling experience prior instead of going in cold, because things just stuck a little better. Because when you go in cold and you just break in, things don't always stick. But I already had a lot of years already and understood the business. And then hearing Lance, the way he would put things and explain things, it just really just clicked a lot more easier than I think for others that are just breaking in cold. But regardless, he's a hell of a trainer, a great trainer. And I always recommended guys that wanted to break in when he was still training to go see Lance. He was the best guy in Alberta to go train with, undoubtedly. Mm-hmm. And then Roddy Piper, I was on a reality wrestling TV show in 2011 with Roddy Piper called World of Hurt. And I couldn't pass up the opportunity. It was a small list of people to train with him, and I'm a part of that list, and it's a blessing. He was awesome. But I credit promo work, and character. That's what I give the most credit to Roddy Piper now for. And it didn't happen overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day, as Chichi Cruz told me when I first started. And I always pass that info on to guys breaking into. You got to have patience, and it takes time. Things take time to soak in, and you got to throw things to the wall and see what sticks. And it took me a while to tap in to Cameron Tom / Kamikaze, the extension of myself, and amping it up to 100. But I applied everything he taught me, and it took time. But now I feel I can talk the talk and walk the walk. And almost I feel now that I can just go off and almost as if I'm possessed by Roddy Piper, may he rest in peace. And he's just pulling the strings up above and like, I can just talk, and it's like I'm on autopilot. I'm like possessed almost. Like
I see that from you, Cam. I see that. I see that from you on your promos on your Instagram. Like you don't look like the type to like okay, action. It's like okay, the camera's on you, boom, you're possessed. Like you could do a promo right there.
Yeah,
It's
that's the point.
you need
That's what I
talent.
wanted to do. Yes, that's the trick. I always tell guys this. You want to get good at promos, it's practice. No different than having matches and getting reps. You got to do promos. You should be able to cut a promo about anything at any time, anywhere, any place, about the simplest things. A fence post as you're driving by, cut a promo on that. And if you can do that, you're laughing. But it takes time and practice. But I've hit that point, God willing, and I'm still always staying sharp and cutting promos. I love cutting promos. But yeah, that's what it is. It's just about that red light fever. As soon as the red light goes on, boom, you are transformed and off and running you go. And I'd like to think I've really hit my stride with the promo game now. Yes, it was thanks to Roddy Piper.
I agree with you 100%. Without the promo, you're not selling the match. You have to sell. You have to sell the event with a promo. Unfortunately, there was a video promo I was doing before the show. It was on mute, so you didn't hear it. But so I'll play it again.
I can't wait to watch that back.
I love doing promos, but I have a gimmick for like commentary, and I do like Eric Bischoff, NWO, black and white, like obnoxious kind of gimmick. I do kind of thing on the commentary. On the podcast, I'm a sweet guy. Like I love interviewing my fellow wrestlers and my fellow fans, you know. But
absolutely,
when the camera's on, Bodacious Albert is something completely different.
Ooh, I like it. That's right, man. It's an escape. It's a creative outlet. You get to do this other persona. It's an extension of yourself, an alter ego, I guess you can call.
Yeah,
it's a healthy thing.
My wife calls me a loser, but I love doing it. It's like I'm doing it. Once I was cutting a promo on my 2-year-old son, just cutting a promo on him, like just having fun. And my wife's looking at me and telling me, "You're a loser." I'm like, okay. She cut me down right away. But yeah,
some people just don't get it.
No, they don't. They don't. Your promo work is awesome.
Thank you.
What is the hardest thing early in your in your career, physical side and mental side? Like, what was like the hardest thing to grasp in your career to like evolve? Like, I'm gonna try to give you an example. Like for me, mentally, like it's hard for me to like there's the doubters out there, you know. There's the haters. There's always that. Like it's always hard for me. Like I would get, "Oh, you're doing such a great job," from like 5 different person, but that one person that says, "I wasn't that good." That comment breaks me down. You know, that comment, it just fucks everything up for me, and I have to think about it. Why did he say or she say, it wasn't that good? Like I got to fix that opinion. Everybody else says it was awesome, but I got to fix that opinion. What are your hard tasks or hard difficulties? How do you fix it? How do you, in that situation, how do you do it?
Well, I mean, like it's a crazy profession to get into. It's out of the ordinary. It's nothing normal about it. So I definitely had family and friends and people just kind of roll their eyes at it. They don't respect it. They don't understand it. And a lot of people want to see you fail for multiple reasons that maybe they didn't have the balls to go and after something and chase a dream. So it makes them insecure, jealous, envious. But a lot of people too just want to be like, "Told you so," you know, "Told you this wouldn't work." You know, they want to be right and like see you fall down on your face. Get that a lot. Even to this day in locker rooms, like you still deal with jealous, envious, insecure types that don't want to see you succeed. And when you show up, you don't sit well with their egos, you know. I'm very familiar with that. I pick up with that instantly, and I see it with family and friends. But in my early years, I definitely got that a lot. I think now I'm finally getting a lot of respect from family and friends, and they accept it and are happy for me. And of course, there's still going to be others that want to see you fall on your face. That's just life. That's life. That's how it is. Opinions are like belly buttons or assholes. Everyone has one, right? So you can't let that get to you. However, I've always been my own worst critic. I critique myself very heavily. I have a large book just critiquing myself and my matches and my work. And I just write down things that I need to work on. And I'm always going to the veterans that have been there, done that, made money in this business and have more experience and are better than me, and asking for advice. I'm not looking to get praised and what I did right. I want to know what I did wrong. That's how you get better at this. That's how you get polished up. But no, you're your own worst critic in this. I feel is like you can't be satisfied. You always got to try and keep getting better and be a better version of yourself than you were yesterday. And try not to compare yourself to others too. That'll just eat you alive. If you start comparing yourself to others, a lot of mediocrity has been rewarded this day and age in this business. I find there's certain people that just I don't think belong on TV, but just because they know certain people or they're a kiss ass or politics or whatever it is, they're there and they're making good money. You can't compare yourself to those people as much as you want to. You got to just stay the course, focus on what you can control, and be the best version of yourself and shine bright. If you start comparing yourself to others, it'll eat you up. It'll eat you up and spit you out. It's not healthy. So just control what you can control. And it's easier said than done. It's a very mentally mutilating industry, but it's not for everybody. But you got to stay strong physically and mentally for sure.
Yeah, it's physically and mentally. That's I trained like I was like you. Like I did the wrestling school, I did all that stuff, but unfortunately, I couldn't because I broke my back. Like I couldn't. I got the Shawn Michaels back, right? I broke the back. So like I've always said I'm not gonna leave the business. Like I got to do something in it. So this is what podcasting. This is what commentary comes from. Announcing backstage, Mean Gene. You know, like I love that stuff.
God bless you. It's great. There's a place for something. It's not just in-ring stuff. There's lots of other avenues within the industry. Yeah, absolutely.
So when I started, it was looking for validation. I was looking for validation. Did I do a good job? And it was just, but now it's like I don't care what you think. Like I'm having a good time. If you like it, you like it. You don't, change the channel. That's what I say to everybody.
I always say too, once it's not fun anymore, you better find a reason or better fix that issue. Because as soon as it's not fun anymore, there's a problem, right?
So that's it. Anyways, let's go back to
having fun. Having fun and doing what you love.
Exactly. Doing what you love is the most important. And again, pro wrestling was always there for us. So
amen to that.
I think that's the main topic of this whole podcast is pro wrestling is there for us. So so Kamikaze, we know that your style is chaotic. It's high risk, you know. But from there, if you could tell me one thing you did in your career that was out of whack, okay, and you knew I shouldn't be doing that, but I did it anyway. Right. What did you do? Like what maneuver? What match type? What did you do? I'd love to know that.
In my early years, in particular, I was just full of piss and vinegar and had something to prove. wanted to show off my skills, my athletics. And was still piecing together storytelling and psychology. There's a time and place to do the high risk stuff, but it's not every night. And for a while, I was trying to do that every night. And many people are guilty of this, and especially the new age of people, I think, are very guilty of it, of just trying to show off and show what you can do. But it's about telling a story. It's about psychology, card psychology, knowing your role on the card, where you are on the card. You're supposed to be building to the main event. Yeah. So you shouldn't be just doing all the crazy stuff in the first opening match or earlier on in the card. You let the main event do that. You got to know your role on the card. And it's all about psychology and storytelling, man. But in my early years, to answer your question, I remember taking a vertical suplex, like full vertical suplex, a little bit of a hang at first, and then a drop just on like a concrete floor. And that was not smart or fun. I remember feeling my whole skeletal structure vibrate when I hit the ground. Even though I took like a good, perfect bump, it still rattled my whole skeletal structure. So that was not smart. I remember tearing my ACL, doing like a corkscrew dive over the top rope. And one of the opponents didn't catch me. And this is another big thing. It's about trusting people. And I shouldn't have trusted this person. He was more concerned with his own safety than me spiraling through the air like a corkscrew coming down at him. And he like cripped up and like protected himself and didn't even catch me. So my leg smashed the steel guardrail. I dented the guardrail and I tore my ACL. And I remember the referee coming up to me and being like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No." And then he didn't hear me and he goes, "Are you okay?" And I go, "Yeah." And then I continued wrestling for another 10 minutes with no ACL in my knee. And adding on to that, I was so young, full of piss and vinegar. I couldn't stop. I didn't want to stop. I wrestled for 2 years and 9 months with no ACL in my left leg. That was very dumb. I do not recommend anyone doing that. I'm so lucky I didn't further injure myself and just wreck myself. But at the same respect, it taught me I had to slow down. I had to start telling better stories, having better psychology, picking my spots when and where to do things. But it wasn't hard. It wasn't easy, especially for my style of flying around a lot. And that's what also made me get into more ground grappling, chain wrestling. I wanted to be a really good technical wrestler. So I can fly through the air with the best of them, but I can also roll on the mat and wrestle with the best of them. I committed several years to just grappling and chain wrestling. But yeah, I don't recommend doing that. I finally did get surgery, got fixed up, and then trained with Lance and stuff like that. But 2 years and 9 months with no ACL, and I was still jumping, flying around. I do not recommend that. It wasn't wise. It wasn't smart. Just if you get hurt, get fixed up. Take the time to heal and do it the right, smart way. I'm so lucky. God was looking after me in that respect as well.
God is on your side all the time. I love it.
Amen.
I've noticed your matches. I've watched quite a few of them, of your recent ones, your cage matches especially. Even though the cage matches are happening, you're technically sound. Your fundamentals are clean. You know your presence around the ring. Now the main event is the main event. Yes, you got to be thrown into the cage a few here and there. Yeah, you got. You gotta color his blood, whatever it may be.
Give them their money's worth. Yeah,
give them their money's worth. But I would like, send me the links. I would like to see your earlier work.
Okay, I will.
Today's work, fuck man, you remind me of Chris Jericho, and that's a compliment.
That's a strong compliment. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So you remind me of Chris Jericho with your flips, clean, crisp. Obviously, your opponent has to catch you and make sure you're safe. But,
it takes two to tango. It takes two
to tango. Yes, but your psychology in the wrestling ring right now, by far one of I've watched CWE's couple matches on the whole show.
Yeah,
there's a reason why the strap is on you, my friend. There's a reason why the strap is on, and that means, and I mean it. We got a question though here from the audience. I don't know if you know this guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's bring it up. It's Dwayne Oper.
Dwayner.
The question for Kamikaze: are there any current wrestlers in Canada that you haven't fought that you would love to get in the ring with?
Oh, geez. I had one interaction with Scorpius, and I'd love to get more matches with him. He's one of the big young up-and-comers alongside Chad Daniels. Those two in particular are the big up-and-comers in my eyes in the Canadian scene. But I've had lots of interactions with Chad, and it's been fantastic. He's a hell of a talent. But I only had one with Scorpius. I want more with the Highwayman Scorpius. I think we could do some fantastic work together. I'm trying to think of other up-and-coming talent or just Canadian talents right now. Maple Leaf Pro has my attention. There's a lot of talent there I want to work and interact with, and I feel I'd be a great representation of Canadian wrestling. What
a full circle for you to be on Maple Leaf Wrestling, TSN. We grew up on TSN. It's a full circle.
That's right. Watching Monday Night Raw on TSN, yes.
So it's that'd be crazy to see you on there. I would love to have that. You never know. Listen, people that come on my podcast, things happen. So you never know. You never
know. Nothing's impossible. I've always believed that. You just got to grind and work hard. But Scorpius, I'd love to get more matches with Scorpius. Yes.
So there's speaking of Maple Leaf Wrestling, you are currently the Canadian Wrestling Elite Heavyweight Champion, right?
Correct.
What does the Canadian Wrestling Elite mean to you in your career right now?
Man, it's my bread and butter. It's my bread and butter. Actually, I was just backstage doing some extra work for AEW, and there was someone out there was taking a shot at CWE, and it wasn't the place or the time to say anything, but it's my bread and butter. I haven't had a shoot job in over 3 years, and it's because of Canadian Wrestling's Elite. I am a full-time professional wrestler, and it's because of Canadian Wrestling's Elite. I'm one of the busiest wrestlers in North America and Canada. It's because of Canadian Wrestling's Elite, giving me the reps, the matches, the work night after night. being able to sell my merchandise and my POs, my payoffs, combine that together and not spending any money on the road, I am paying off my debts. I am saving, putting away money. I am making a living as a professional wrestler. And it's because of Canadian Wrestling's Elite. It's because of CWE. And for these guys that will knock that, I think something's wrong with them, and they got to look themselves in the mirror and take their head out of their ass to think that they're above hitting the road and doing what everyone that was ever good at this did before us and paved the way, is be on the road every single night, getting the reps in front of different audiences. And the loop that CWE runs is the same Stampede Wrestling loop, a lot of it. We run the same towns and cities as Stampede Wrestling used to do. And if you think you're above that, working that circuit and that loop, when other guys that have been there, done that before, have done it and paved the way for us, you better look in the mirror and take your head out of your ass. It's just, there's a lot of ego in this business, but it wasn't the time or place to say anything because I was backstage in a professional environment. But it was definitely a shot and a dig at myself and CWE. But no, they are the only touring company in Canada and in North America, really. And they're giving me work. They're giving me opportunities. I haven't been able to cross paths with guys like Savio Vega and Shane Douglas and Brian Kendrick and Austin Aries and Ultimo Dragon and now EC3 coming up. And all these stars and guys that have been there, done that, and traveling with them night after night, learning from them and working with them. How can you knock that? How can you think you're above that? How can you? It's just the mentalities this day and age with a lot of guys, not everybody, but a lot of guys, it's bewildering to me. They'd rather be a big fish in a small pond and think they're above putting on the miles and traveling on the road. So CWE is my lifeblood. I would be nothing without CWE.
CWE. It reminds me of, like, okay, I don't want to say territories, but I mean, it is a Canadian brand, right? That's been around since for I don't know how many years. It's been around. So it's like, and it hasn't closed its doors. Okay, we got COVID and all that, but
yeah,
shout out to Danny Duggan. Like, I gotta give that man man a big shout out. I love that man. He was on the podcast earlier. Like, him too, giving me graciously his time to talk about his career and stories on the road, and obviously CWE and now you. So it's like, yeah, I got my buddy here, Wrestle Real, with the comment. We gotta know who was talking shit. We're not gonna do that, Wrestle Real. Sorry, Matt. We're not gonna do that.
Sorry, buddy. It's unfortunate who it is. He's really, there's a lot of big heads and egos in this business, but
Canadian institution. Yeah.
It is what it is. But no, I stand by that. It wasn't the time or place to fire back and defend. I was in a professional environment. It probably would have got very heated if I did. So I just kept my mouth shut, but I won't forget it.
You did the right thing. Winning the championship, the title, the CWE that we both love, like especially you, right? Winning that heavyweight championship for the very first time. I think you defeated Danny for that one, right?
Chad Daniels. But the Central Canadian Championship, I defeated Danny in my hometown. But Chad Daniels was in my hometown as well, in Medicine Hat, Alberta, for the big one, the heavyweight championship against Chad Daniels.
And what was that feeling that the company the CWE that you love so much, validated you? Kamikaze heavyweight champ is a man to put the whole company on its shoulders, selling tickets. And hell, fuck, you're selling tickets. So, yeah.
That's the name of the game.
I find sometimes, like, even like I'm talking to you now, like you're still a little bit doubting yourself. Like you're the fucking man. You have to understand that, man. So, like,
it's that modesty and humility I practice.
I'm so humble, and I'm a fan of you, man. I really am. So it's like,
oh, God bless you. Thank you.
So it's like, you're doing great stuff, but CWE put the strap on you.
Yeah.
What did that mean to you?
It meant the world, man. It was, like you said, it means they believe in you. They give you the ball and you are running with it. And I'm doing my damnedest to run with that ball and be the best champion I possibly can be, representing the company. It's a lot about just being a professional and representing things. I get to do all the sponsorship promo work for a lot of our sponsors. And I'm one of the faces of the company. And I'm ready for the role. It took years all the pieces had to be put in the right spot, and the puzzle had to be put together. Rome wasn't built in a day, but I put in my time, I put in the work, the blood, sweat, and tears, and the sacrifices, and here we are. It's a good reward. but it ain't over yet. I got to still prove myself night in, night out, and I'm going to do exactly that. But no, it's an honor and a respect thing to Danny Duggan and the promotion and all the hard workers in and out of the ring that make CWE what it is. It's a very special place, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it.
Yeah. Really is a special organization, a federation. I like to call it. I don't like calling it organization. I like to call it federation. WWF. But Kaze, I gotta give you your props. It's an hour we're talking here already. It's passing fast.
Oh, time flies when you're having fun.
I have a segment here. It's called the list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm gonna do a little commercial. It's this. Where is it here? It is brought to you by Capgo Championship Belts. It's a belt maker back in Pakistan, and there's a bunch of belts for AWF, for PFW, and all a bunch of organizations and federations. I want you to think of your top 5 championship belts. Well, and the CWE heavyweight title could be one of them, or
Right.
it could be,
Yeah.
or it could be classic ones that I might have behind me.
Yes.
So
Yes. Okay.
I'm gonna hit a commercial and just think about those top 5. Okay.
You got it. You got it.
You just made the list!
This is the list. Turn it up. Let the records twist. Top 10 stories that you don't wanna miss. Brought to you loud from the heart of the fans. After the slam, yeah, we're making a stand. Yeah, we're making a stand.
You just made the list!
And you just made the list. All right, Kaze. Top 5 championship belts. Just give me 5, not in particular order, but
Okay.
I want to hear your top 5 growing up championship belts or titles that you've currently held or held. Which ones do you love the most?
Okay, I'd say number 1 would probably be the Eagle Winged Championship in WWF. I think that's a beautiful championship. Well, what do you got there? Hello, there it is. Yeah, beautiful belt. So beautiful, prestigious. That's the one, man. That's number 1 for me. I think it's just fantastic.
Hulk Hogan,
Look at
baby.
Yeah, dude, it's the best. It's the one. Number 2, I would probably say the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, just because of its lineage and its history.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have that.
No, it's okay. Number 3, maybe that old school Intercontinental Championship, even with the white leather, looks good. Got more of a boxy. Yes, that's it right there. Beautiful championship. Yes, gorgeous.
Yes.
That's awesome. I would say the updated version of the NWA WCW World Heavyweight Championship, the big one. You know the one I'm talking about. So beautiful. Yeah, there she is. That's beautiful right there, man. I would also I like the World Tag Team Championships from like 90 the 90s there. They got like the world on it, and yeah, you got it. There it is. I love that belt. I think that's a nice looking tag team championship.
It is.
Yeah, man. I'd also say maybe the NWA Television Championship with the red strap is really beautiful as well. That's one that just stuck to my head too.
Yeah. Those
is that
belts-
5?
Well, that was more than 5, but I mean, it was classic. Those are classic. they're classic. I find the belts of today are like, like even the CWE title reminds me of the big gold a bit. You know?
Yeah,
like,
it looks nice. It does. They did a good job, and I think it was kind of inspired by that for sure. You're right. The new championships are just very blah and like robotic. There's not a lot of oomph and substance and spirit behind them.
They all look the same.
It's cookie cutter.
Yeah, like I'm a big like we said, we're Hogan fans, right?
Yeah.
I went all the way to get the Hogan 86 belt. Like
Whoa! That's another good one, man. Yes.
This is my favorite champship belt of all time.
Beautiful. Oh, that's a good choice too. Absolutely.
The only championship. The only person that held this was Hogan.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Prestigious.
So, nobody else held this out but Hogan. WrestleMania 3, WrestleMania 2. This is the belt that he was defending. So it's like I'm a big Hogan guy. I love Hulk Hogan. Watch a show on Netflix. It's not a plug, but it could be a plug.
Yeah.
You never know. Pay me. But yeah, those belts are by far my favorite. And also, I love the WCW television title. It's way back there.
That's a nice one too. Good choice. Good choice. You people forget about that one. That's a nice one.
People forget. Okay, I have to show it. I gotta show it. It's a classic. It's like this was my favorite.
So nice.
I had Arn Anderson, Johnny B. Bad, Mark Merrill. You know, those are the guys that I grew up on. You know, Stunning Steve Austin.
Yes.
Before he was Stone Cold, he was stunning. You know, so it's like
You know it.
so
Got to start somewhere.
Yeah, I'm an old school kid. Like I always say on all my podcasts, my favorite tag team of all time is the Nasty Boys.
Oh, Maze, what a pick. Wow. That's crazy, dude. That's a hell of a pick.
I know. It's like people are like, who talks about the Nasty Boys? I do.
That's amazing. I love it.
Nasty Boys, Steiner Brothers, Harlem Heat.
Steiner's, yeah. Yes. Great choices.
The Head Shrinkers. Like I like that stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't watch anything modern day. I watch all old school stuff from like the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. That's where these guys are working every night, night in, night out, and they're so good. That's where you're going to learn.
That's nowadays like okay. I love AEW, WWE. We love this wrestling. We love wrestling. We'll watch anything. MLW, CMML. You know, triple I like saying triple but you know. These guys, maybe not the Mexicans, but I mean, like WWE and AEW, they're wrestling what once or twice a week. Like I like wrestlers that wrestle every day, twice a day. You learn your craft from there, you know. You learn
exactly. My schedule is more busier than all these guys now. It's crazy to think that.
The callus on your back should be like horrendous. You know, Jesus.
But working smart, knowing when and where to do stuff. Savio Vega always told me like have a good routine down. And make sure you can do it with your eyes closed and you can do it every night. And then when the special moments come and special audiences and stuff like that, then you bust out the bigger stuff. But just do something that's sustainable and healthy. And I've found that groove. Thanks to Savio Vega for the advice on that. But yeah man, I want to be just like these guys that worked every night. And I'm blessed by God that I'm doing it. I'm living the dream. It's happening in real time.
So tell me road stories. You've been on the road. Danny Duggan told me something that he almost got like stuck in the lake. You know, I want to know road stories about you. What's the craziest road story from town to town that you?
I would say probably when I got in a little accident. I just posted about it. It just happened 16 years ago, a couple days back. We rolled in a Sunfire. We were doing TV tapings for WFX in Winnipeg. And then the next night out of Winnipeg, we had to get back to Calgary to do a Prayer Wrestling Alliance booking Saturday night. So we just drove after the TV tapings straight back to Alberta. And we hit about Saskatchewan. I was driving at the time and I was starting to nod off. So I asked if someone else could drive for me. And a wrestler, Alex Plexus, took over. And it was myself, Alex Plexus, and Rick Victor, who was part of the Ascension. He hadn't been signed yet.
Rick Victor, yes.
Yeah, one of the tag teams there. But he was driving shotgun, and Plexus started driving, and within an hour, God bless him, he fell asleep at the wheel. And I woke up in the back seat just enough time to hear us hitting the gravel, and then we rolled half the length of a football field into the Saskatchewan ditch off the highway. And we were so lucky, none of us got seriously injured. Plexus was bleeding from the head a bit. Rick Victor, his foot was out of the window. That's how he liked to sleep, stretched out with his foot out the window. And he said every time we rolled, he could feel his foot hit the ground. And he's so lucky he didn't lose his leg or his foot. I don't know how he didn't. His shoe was launched like quite a lot of feet away from the wreckage. I found his shoe. There was kamikaze promo pictures scattered all over the field because the trunk exploded, our bags exploded. And I just had a little bump behind my left ear, just back here. And I thought nothing of it. I remember we landed upright and I was like dizzy for like a millisecond. And then I shook it off and I was like, is everyone okay? And I took my seatbelt off and I was checking on everyone and stuff. So I like ignored what was happening with that dizzy spell. And I remember the ambulance came eventually, but the first vehicle to come and check on us they were on their way to their first aid course. And the second vehicle to come check on us was the instructor to the first aid course. I don't believe in coincidence. That's pretty wild. God was looking after us. The ambulance finally came. We went in the ambulance, took us to a Saskatchewan hospital. And I'll never forget, the EMT is like checking our blood pressure. And we all got like big arms. We're jacked up because we're wrestlers. And he's like checking our big arms, our biceps, the blood pressure. And he looks up at us, and I'll never forget it. He's just like, who are you guys? Like, he was just like bewildered. Like, who are these muscle-bound guys? Like, what's going on here? Yeah, we made it to Calgary. I think we had to get a rental or something. And but then Lance Storm, the booker at the time, wouldn't let us wrestle. That's how young and dumb we were and full of piss and vinegar. We wanted to still wrestle. But that was during the time, it was 2010, where concussions and brain trauma were starting to get more of a microscope put on the industry and the effects of it. And that was the right call. Lance made the right call, not letting us wrestle that night. And then a month later, to the day of the accident, that little bump behind my ear, I ended up getting post-concussion syndrome. I was sensitive to light. I had a terrible headache. And it took a whole month to catch up with me after the accident. And yeah, I had to get my first and only, and I hope my only, brain scan. And everything was okay. The brain was looking good, but I just had to take some time and rest. And yeah, that's probably the craziest road story for you, man. We were lucky to be alive. God was looking after us, protecting us. Yeah, it was wild.
We're winding down to the show because we have half an hour. Like, it's already an hour and 10 minutes. 175 people watching the show live, which is pretty cool.
All right, cool. Nice.
I want to ask you this question here. I usually ask them for wrestlers that I have on the show. Kamikaze.
Yes,
the
sir.
debut of Kamikaze till today. What would you tell today's Kamikaze? What would you tell the debut Kamikaze?
Slow down.
Yeah.
Storytelling, psychology. Make sure everything makes sense. There should be a reason why everything is happening. Why is this happening? Work on your promos. Stay humble and modest. If you get hurt, take the time. Listen to your body and take the appropriate recovery and time, or surgery if you need it.
Oh, shit.
You know?
2 years no see ACL, bud. Jesus.
Right. I know. I never sold out. I never was a kiss ass. I never was a politician, but I still would just reiterate all those things. Stay true to yourself and do this because you love it, and try and just be the best version of yourself, better than you were yesterday. Don't compare yourself to others, and treat everyone the way you'd like to be treated. And I do practice all this anyways, but I'd still just reiterate all that. And that's the kind of things I'd tell anyone just breaking into the industry. You got to build a good foundation. Fundamentals are key. And then icing on the cake, you can do all the crazy flips and the high spots later on. But that's icing on the cake. It's about having good fundamentals and doing the fundamental stuff with your eyes closed naturally and just second nature. And then working on promos, practicing promos all the time. And don't be afraid to jump into the unknown and just inquire more. I think that's a big one. I didn't knock on enough doors early on. I was kind of just stuck, dedicated to one promotion at the time, Monster Pro Wrestling. It was kind of manipulated too, of not being allowed to go anywhere else. But spread your wings and fly. You don't want to be a big fish in a small pond. You got to start somewhere, but eventually you got to spread those wings and start traveling and go and work with people better than you. Get out of your comfort zone and go to an environment that you're not familiar with.
It's crazy you told me that. It's really nuts that you're saying this right now. I've been told I'm a whore for pro wrestling. Okay, so I like to knock, like, I'm the type to hustle and knock on every single door. Hey, do you need any assistance? Hey, do you need any help? Hey, do you need a backstage interview? Hey, you need a commentator? Hey, do you need a manager? Do you need something? Like, I'm that type of guy to work. And if I could work in every single promotion here in Montreal or in Canada for a day, I would do it, you know? But then there's some promoters that say, don't be a whore, or they would say, you know, don't spread your wings too much. You know, like
Right.
just stick to like 3 or 2 federations. I'm like, I like to work. If I could get paid Monday to Sunday doing something about pro wrestling, and I'm working for
Yeah.
every single promotion that Bodacious Albert name is out there,
Yeah, man.
why not? You know, so like,
Why not?
you telling me this is like, again, another inspirational thing you just said. So it's like, yeah, this was meant to be, bud. This was meant to be.
I believe it. Nothing is coincidence. Everything serves its purpose, and everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. The squeaky wheel gets the grease, and that's the thing. It's you only live once. You better make this worth it. Make it count, and do what you love to do, and get your name out there. That's why I contacted you. I wanted to. I'm knocking on doors too, brother. You know.
Yeah, and you contacted me, which means a lot because I'm just some little boy in Montreal. I'm kidding. Okay, so we know that the new today Kamikaze talking to the younger Kamikaze, but I want to know the difference between locker rooms. The locker room atmosphere. Like back then, we could say the 80s to maybe late 90s, early 2000s. We're talking about these guys. Okay, there was drugs, there was alcohol. We all know that.
Right. Yes.
But these guys were rugged pro wrestlers. Now I find they're playing video games and winning video game championships, which is okay.
Right.
They're not doing drugs. They're all right, you know. But you've been around. You've been. You hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. You've been around, right? So you've been in DC. You've been in other federations. You've been in other locker rooms. You've been in plenty of locker rooms. What's the difference of the locker room when you debuted as a young 12-year-old boy? No, when you were debuted the young to now, the professionalism or like the egos. There has to be a difference. What you could say there's a difference of?
There is. You're absolutely right. You nailed it. Actually, just rugged men that ran the business in the early 2000s into the 90s and 80s. These guys are tough as nails and didn't put up with any bullshit and protected the business and policed the business. Yeah. Now there's none of that. Now we just let wrestlers play. There's a term now called play wrestlers where they just play and get to live out their fantasy, and they don't really belong, or they don't put in the time. They don't respect the business. They're just playing, and it's their form of art that they get to express. But there's a right way and a wrong way of doing this. And I think now we've let a lot of people that should be on the other side of the guardrail come into the business and pollute it in a lot of respects. But also there's been some positives, like you said, with the drugs. And there's so many wrestlers were dying through that era, through the 90s and 80s and early 2000s. It was sad. There's a rough lifestyle, and guys got caught up in drugs and alcohol and steroid abuse. Now things are, and the concussions too, all the knowledge coming out about brain trauma. Now we're a lot smarter, and guys are keeping their nose clean in a lot of respects. And I think that's a good thing. I want people to live nice, long, flourishing lives instead of dying young. So that's a nice positive difference in that respect. But yeah, I found too, just there's a lot more snaky backstabbing going on in the early days. Not that there isn't still to this day. There's still politics. There's still snakes. But I think it was a more wild jungle in the earlier times when I broke in. And even before I came in, I couldn't even imagine what the environment was like. You really had to have thick skin. And you still do. You need thick skin to be in this industry. But you always had to be watching behind your back because someone else wants your spot. Someone else wants you making that money you're making. So it was a lot more cutthroat than it is today. But don't get me wrong. I'm still dealing with jealous, insecure, just envious people to this day in locker rooms. But I also can say I have a lot more. They say you can only have, there's a lot of more acquaintances than there are friends in the business. And you can usually count your friends on one hand. But I'd like to think I'm pretty lucky. I can count my friends on both my hands. So, and I'm blessed for that too. So yeah, there has been some positive and negative changes, absolutely, from then to now.
That's crazy. Like I've noticed. I'm a fan. Like okay, like you said, the behind the guardrail.
Yeah,
I'm a mark. I'll admit it. I'm a mark. I'm a mark for.
We all are marks for this business. We are.
Yeah.
We all are.
But I'm a mark for pro wrestling. I love this shit. I tried to get my foot in. I couldn't do it. I broke my damn back. I got it. But at the end of the day, I'm still in it, right? Now,
you don't know unless you try. And the fact that you put in that effort and put it in, everything happens for a reason. And you're still contributing in a positive way. I think this is very positive what we're doing right now. You're helping.
I'm excited to share your story. Your story is very important, and your career is very important. You are a benchmark for CWE. So at the end of the day, you're making history for yourself. So I got a history making superstar on my podcast right now. So that's how I look at it. You lace those damn boots, guy. You are special for me. And for the world, for anything of pro wrestling. It doesn't mean you have to be in WWE. Oh my God, you have to nah. You fucking lace up those boots. You're going one-on-one in a squared circle. You're putting your body on the line every single day. You are special. You are an athlete. You are special. And I don't care what you say. You want to call me a mark? Fine.
That's respect. That's respect, brother. Thank you. I respect you, and thank you for those kind words. Thank you so much.
Yeah, because I tried it. I tried to do what you do. I couldn't. I could. If I do it today, I probably will be able to do it because I'm cleared. But I mean, I'm a little older. I got a family. I got a wife. I got kids. I want to be there for them. I don't want to say, "Where's Daddy?" every single night. Yeah. But
it's a hard life, man. It is one of the things struggling with, trying to keep relationships strong. And family and friends, keeping those strong. And I'm guilty of just being so tunnel visioned and stuck in a routine of doing things and committed that I have like wrecked relationships, and I'm trying to make up for lost time now in a lot of respects with family and friends, and trying to not repeat the same mistakes. But I'm not perfect by any means. I'm trying my damnedest to do better and be better. But it's a journey, and it's not an easy life by any means. Oh. But I'm always learning and figuring something out. And even if it is learning the hard way, I'm still seeing what needs to be done and how I need to be a better person and be there for my loved ones and other people that I love in my life. It's important. There's more to life than just wrestling. This isn't going to last forever. And I'm blessed to be doing it. And I'm riding the wave. But you got to keep those things strong. Family is so important. Loved ones are so important. And giving back is so important. Helping others. So I'm trying my best. I'm learning. I'm always learning, even if it's the hard way, but I'm still learning.
Man, you're an inspiration from your childhood to now, man. You're learning. We all learn. We all learn everything, something new every day. But at the end of the day, you're doing something great. But now we're going to wind down the podcast because we're almost done. I want to talk about your future and your legacy. Yep. Okay? That's more important. What do you want to tell the audience about your legacy? Like, what is the checklist that you want to, who you wished you want to face? Who haven't you faced? What belts haven't you ever, this is a legacy thing. But for me, did you leave a checklist for wrestling?
I did have goals when I first broke in, and when I was a teenager, I had like a list of things. And it's funny, I kind of look back on it, and I checked off a lot of them. It was pretty impressive. But there's still, of course, big things. Like, of course, I want a match in WWE or one of the major big companies. I think Maple Leaf Pro, I want to just represent Canadian wrestling and show, especially on the Alberta side of things, what Alberta has to offer, what Canadian wrestling has to offer to the world. I feel personally in my heart that I can contribute in a positive manner on a larger scale, whether it be as a talent, as an agent, as a trainer, as a talent scout. In some capacity, I can contribute in a positive light, in a positive, good way, on a large scale in the wrestling world, somehow, some way. And that's what I'm trying to do, man, is just trying to make a better living, a better standard of living, and a quality of life, doing what I love to do.
Yeah.
But I'm not done. I feel I'm just, I'm in a good groove, blessed by God. And I got to put God first always. I talk about the creator above. I wouldn't be nothing without him. And I always got to put him first. It'd be nothing without him. All of us would be nothing, whether you believe it or not. That is just how it is. I'm nothing without God. So I always put him first. And I just trust the process. He's by my side every day. He's guiding me, protecting me. Everything happens for a reason, and it's all a big learning process. And I'm just going with the flow, and I'm trusting the process.
Okay, so I got three more questions for you, then we're gonna call it a podcast. Because quite frankly, this podcast has been influential and emotional, and damn fucking honored to have you on the show.
Oh, well, it's an honor. Thank you so much.
Kamikaze.
Yes, sir.
You are might be like spinning wheels here, but you are on the round table of Unreal, as you know that documentary we see on the Netflix.
Okay. Yes.
If you got a book yourself versus, it's a two-part question, somebody, or you got to book two talents from any promotion to wrestle at WrestleMania, what would you book? So you versus somebody, and then and another one-on-one at WrestleMania. Who would you have on the main card?
Okay, so this is all just hypothetical, imaginary, but I would.
No, it could happen. It could happen. Never
Okay,
say.
no, nothing's impossible.
Yeah.
But this is my fantasy, I guess, what I would say. Right away, first of all, I'm employed by WWE, working for the largest company, representing professional wrestling. Also, we'd have to sign MJF to WWE and book him correctly and use him as like that Roddy Piper type heel that he can be to his full maximum potential. Get him white hot heel. And the magic of this business, and I'm confident in my own abilities, is you have one hell of a good baby face that has an organic connection with the audience, aka myself, against the hottest heel in the industry, MJF, especially if he was in WWE, to be springboarded and put into that proper position. MJF and I working a program going on we could make it happen for over a year. The material he could talk about with just me alone and my appearance and my look, and me firing back with my promo skills, and then the matches themselves, I think we can make a lot of money. And that's what this business is about, is selling tickets, making money, telling stories, and we can tell some hell of a good story with the two of us.
Yeah.
There.
And who would you book beside yourself at a WrestleMania match?
I would.
I'm gonna make that poster and I'm gonna send that to you. I'm gonna take your graphic versus MJF WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send that to you just to have like some fun, because I like doing these things. But who would you book two guys now?
Just two guys now. Geez, let me think here. Probably. I mean, like, I guess I don't have my finger on the pulse enough of the modern product. Like I said, I watch the old school stuff. I'm like you. Yeah. But I mean, like MJF as a top heel against, I don't know, is Cody still hot, or are they starting to turn on him a little bit? But you just, yeah, I mean, like, you need your top babyface against a top heel, and that's what is beautiful. That's the art form behind it, a great heel and a great babyface, and it'll make money. So that one comes to mind. Something with Randy Orton as well. Randy Orton is so good. He's one of the last dying breeds of like just an old school professional wrestler this day and age. He's the definition of taking your time. When I tell guys about taking your time in the ring, just watch Randy Orton. It's like he's moving in slow motion. Like he is the definition of taking your time, making everything mean something. So smooth, so good. Maybe like Randy Orton. I don't know. I wish I knew more about the talent. I'll throw my buddy Tristan Angels in there. He's a new up-and-comer in NXT. I lived in the UK with him and trained with him, and his family took me in as one of their own. We lived on the farm together, herding sheep, and he just got signed to WWE recently. He's in NXT. His name's Tristan Angels. I'll throw Tristan Angels versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to book.
Crazy is a lot of people are saying Randy Orton versus their favorite guy from their city. Like Drew Onyx said, Yane Harrison. You're saying Tristan Angel. It's crazy. Everybody's facing, Randy Orton. That's
Randy Orton, man. He's good.
All right. So one more question for you, sir. It might be a tough one to ask you. If you're ready.
Do it. We'll go for it.
When it's all said and done, what do you want the fans to remember Kamikaze?
Hard work, dedication, treating others the way you'd like to be treated. I know sometimes there's like a stigma that, oh, he can't be that nice. There's got to be like an ulterior motive behind the kindness. That's a reflection on them. That's not a reflection of me. I'm just going to keep being a good human being and treating people the way I'd like to be treated, treating people in a Christ-like way and the way God intended, treating people with respect, kindness, understanding, tenderness, unconditional love. That's what this life is about. And just hard work, dedication, commitment, and not being a kiss ass, not being a politician, and just giving it everything that I had, mind, body, soul, and spirit, and just setting a good example and being a good role model. And I'm guilty for being a false idol, but when it comes down to it, if I can change people's lives and bring them closer to God in the process, that's a win for me, because that's what it's all about.
I think the moment somebody gets to know who you are, that right there changes their life.
God bless you. Thanks.
Yeah, sorry to hurt. Nah, I'm gonna make him cry. Nah, don't do that. The tongue is out. The tongue is out. But I mean, it's true. It's true. I mean those words. I really do. I really do. Sir, again, we're gonna do a part 2 of this, because honestly,
I would love
have
to
you come back on the show in a couple months after your tour. Which we're gonna bring that up again. You want to bring up? We're gonna bring up that tour. If you want to plug it, here it is. Boom.
Yeah, Canadian Wrestling's Elite 22-day tour, 22 days straight across Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, doing it the way guys before us paved the way and did it, working every night in front of a different audience, city and town, different opponents every night. This is it. This is the old Stampede Wrestling loop in a lot of respects, the same places Stampede Wrestling would run and their circuits, and even more some. We're just taking it to another level, going across 3 different provinces. May 1st to 22nd, with EC3, TNA Wrestling Star, just returned to TNA. He'll be the headliner. We also have a steel cage main event, the Rage in the Cage tour. It's high-paced, adrenaline-pumping, family-friendly action. I reiterate that and put that over, family-friendly. The more kids, the more families, the better. Come one, come all, and be loud.
And also, where can the fans watching this show find you, Sir Kamikaze, on social media?
Well, I made it really easy. My social media is the same for my YouTube, my Facebook fan page, and my Instagram. It's Kaze CMF, the number 4 life. KAZE the number 4 life. That's it for the YouTube, Facebook fan page, and Instagram.
I will put those links all at the description on the YouTube channel, so they could easily just click, hit that follow, and follow your career wherever you go in the pro wrestling business. Sir, thank you very much. Even though
thank you.
This was fun. I got to know you. I'm gonna talk to you on Instagram, so I might be a whore talking to you. So just
no, I'd love to. Please, I have that open up. I like talking to the fans, and I help a lot of them too. Because I remember when I was a kid trying to message and email wrestlers, I just get big leagued and never get replied back to. So I try and make a point to reply back to the people that are paying my bills and supporting me and helping me live my dream. I'd be nothing without you guys. So no, please chat. I'd love to talk with you. Absolutely.
And there you have it, guys. Kamikaze, if you follow him on Instagram or any of his social medias, he will answer you back, because I will be sending you some shorts of this beautiful podcast that we just did together. And
hell yeah, please do. Yes, I love collaborating.
I'm a big fan. Keep doing for my thoughts towards you, sir. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep kicking ass, because honestly, you're something special, and I want you to know that. So you're something special for CWE, for the pro wrestling business. Keep doing. And I told Danny Duggan, when the CWE comes down to Montreal,
yes,
I better be the first one you call.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. 100%. 100%.
I will be the guy going around putting them flyers. I will help get a hotel if I could. I will do whatever I need to do to have the CWE presented here in Montreal, Quebec,
we
Canada.
Can't do it without you and your efforts. You are definitely on board, 100%.
So that's something I'm going to come on to and be the right-hand man of the CWE. Sir, I'm going to put you backstage. Thank you very much. I'm going to do my little plugs, and we'll just talk backstage first. Don't hang up just yet.
Okay, you got it.
Thank you, buddy. Ah.
Woo!
Guys, that was Kamikaze. Thank you, everyone, for watching. 177 people watching the show. Man, emotional, historical, inspirational, everything came out of this podcast. And a man like him, Kaze, is a great individual. Again, follow him on Instagram and all the social media platforms, and he will follow you back and probably answer you on the messages if you need a thing to help or like advice or whatever. Just be there as a friend. But this podcast made me reflect a little bit while he was talking, and I'll have to say one thing. You might not believe in him. The man up there. I look like Sabu. The man up there. You might not believe in him, but he's there for you. And when you need him, he's there. Always. So I'm a big believer in God myself. So is Kaze. And without this Lord above us, whatever you want to call it, we wouldn't be here today. And we all should be blessed for every single day our feet are on the ground. Again, that was my little final thought, but I do got to plug in some shows. Coming up this Thursday, we are going to Pit Fight Wrestling. As you can see, that is Brad Alexis from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. We're having 4 awesome matches. As you can see, we have Jeremy Prophet, another Canadian mainstay in the Canadian scene, going one-on-one with the charismatic Josh Angel. Also, we got a sexy, I'm not going to say sexy, that's not nice. Amazing Tornado tag team matchup. We got Stella Soloris versus and Wright Ritchie going on with Maria Belmont and Layla Wild. That is going to be another slobber knocker. And when the women fight in the pit, let me tell you, it gets rough. We got a hardcore match. Evan Hardcore. Yes, his last name is Hardcore. He's going one-on-one with Nathan Hope. And no, he does not hope to win. No, I'm kidding. He does hope to win. So those two are going to face in a hardcore match. Pit Fight Wrestling, there was a confrontation last month. It ends up in hardcore. And if I know these guys very well here in the Montreal scene, death matches or their kind of thing, and I'm not a big fan of those. I'm afraid of them. So we're gonna see them go head to head. And then the main event, we got the debut of Brad Alexis coming back from injury, retirement. I don't know. It's none of my business. He's coming back to action to take on the Maniacal Moretas, another Canadian mainstay here, Sexy Eddie here in Montreal, Quebec, and Flying Frank Milano. And yes, I'll say it again. I don't like Frank Milano. And I hope you're watching, buddy, because I don't like you. Anyways, so another thing, again, Rage in the Cage tour, ladies and gentlemen, the CWE, all going on from May, the 1st of May, all down to the 22nd. Don't miss it. You got Kamikaze, the CWE champion. He will be representing that brand. Rage in the Cage main event, steel cage matches. If you like blood, you like cage, then you go watch that show. All around these great cities here in Canada, in Canada. Yes, I'm gonna say Canada. You got Manitoba, you got Alberta, you got Saskatchewan, you got everywhere. You got to watch pro wrestling. CWE is the way to go. And of course, this May 29, I'm gonna play a little commercial, and we'll do my final thoughts.
Friday, May 29th, 2026, Torture Chamber Pro and Warrior Buds present Pandemonium 4 from the Theater Paradox with 4 championship matches and 5 exciting bouts. The British Commonwealth Heavyweight Championship is on the line when the Haitian sensation Wilson Collas defends against the villain Marty Scurll. The AIWF World TV Championship is on the line when the champion, the son of the butcher, Soa Amin, defends against the lumberjack Loic Bouchard. Canadian Tag Team Championship Gold is up for grabs when Derek Butler and Alexander Cable defend against Damage Incorporated. Witness history as we crown a new AIWF Canadian Junior Heavyweight Champion as Paulo Triossi, Buddy Jacobs, Jimmy Woods, and Brad Alexis vie for the gold. And in exciting heavyweight action, it's the Beast King Frankie the Mobster versus Bjorn Hawken. Don't miss this incredible evening of pro wrestling action Friday, May 29th at the Theater Paradox, 5959 Boulevard, Montreal. Tickets $30 general admission, pre-sale $35 at the door. Doors open at 6:30, first bell at 7:30. It's pandemonium.
Torture Chamber Pro Wrestling presents Pandemonium for May 29th. Yes, I will be there as I'm sponsoring the Fatal 4-Way match with Paulo Triassi, Buddy Matthews, Brad Alexis, and Jimmy Woods. They're all going they're all facing each other in a Fatal 4-Way for the new inaugural AIWF Junior Heavyweight Championships, where yours truly is sponsoring the championship. And hell, I'm excited to see that. So May 29th, Pandemonium 4. Don't miss it. And again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Bodacious Albert from After the Slam. You got to see me on your feeds. You got to see me everywhere on the Instagram, on the TikTok, on the YouTubes, on trends and all that. I'm your boy. I'm everywhere. Just because pro wrestling is everywhere. Hello. I'm everywhere too. We'll see you this Sunday. What I got Torture Chamber Pro Wrestling's alumni, Kevin Bryan. He will be on the show on Sunday at 4 p.m. And that's it. We're going to talk about Pandemonium. We're going to be talking about his career. And we're going to talk about everything pro wrestling. We'll see you on Sunday.
The man has come around!
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first the host, straight from After the Slam podcast, Bodacious Albert.
After the slam.